Dr. Sanderson here. Welcome to Unit 12, where we're going to be talking about public relations and social media for organizations. So, to this point in the course, we've kind of been looking at how organizations can use social media to reach external audiences, which public relations is part of that. But we've been really focused on strategy and content and those sorts of things. And now we're going to kind of be shifting gears and looking at how social media affects organizations internally. So we'll be looking at things like using social media to screen job applicants and to monitor employees. But we'll begin by looking at public relations and social media. So I am really excited about this unit. This is a really hot topic right now, just given some of the things that are happening in our society and our culture. So we're seeing organizations be more active in commenting on social and cultural issues, and so that has created, social media then provides commentary for that, where people agree with the organization, criticize the organization, and that creates a public relations issue. So, how are organizations responding to those kind of things? You'll look at some examples of that in the readings. So, it's just a very interesting time from that aspect because we are seeing organizations being more willing to, take a stance on things. And as we know, the audience on social media is very active. So it's not to say that with newspapers and TV and radio, there weren't ways for the audience to push back or give the organization direct feedback, but it often took some time and the volume was not great. Generally speaking, I mean, there were times where organizations got tons of mail and those sorts of things, but um, what social media does is the audience can actually then shift the narratives that the organization has introduced. So in the readings, you'll look at examples where like hashtag hijacking has occurred, where an organization has put out a hashtag to try and generate positive public relations and it's ended up backfiring because the audience took that hashtag and repurposed it for something else to be, in this case, to be critical of the organization. And so it kind of blew up in the organization's face. Um, so because of that, organizations had to be very mindful when they're going to put content out, particularly when they're going to use hashtags, of how the audience is going to react to that and how it could potentially be used negatively to negatively affect the organization. So, there's that aspect as well. Then there's also just miscues. So, you'll look at an article where Yahoo Finance mistyped something in a tweet and it created a racial, problem. Their tweet came off as racist and it created a huge issue. So all because of not being aware, it was one keystroke in this case. So you just have to be very, very careful when you're putting messages out. Another thing organizations have to be mindful of is who is running their social media. Is that person trustworthy? We've seen several examples recently where the person running an organization account has put up something problematic or something that's created a lot of controversy, and the organization has had to take action, and that creates a public relations issue. So we're really looking at public relations from a 360-degree perspective here, because not only do things the organization does that normally would create a PR issue, if they close a plant or they raise prices or they discontinue something. But we're also seeing, social media and public relations issues from things that the organization posts on social media or how they choose to respond to negative feedback on social media. Um, Another thing that kind of creates some PR issues on social media is when organizations, and this kind of speaks to some of the content things we've discussed, when they try and take advantage of holidays like 9/11 and run promotions, and that tends to generate a lot of negative pushback and create some PR issues as well. So again, we're just, with that active audience and with the instantaneous exchange of information and the way news and information and perceptions can travel and perpetuate, organizations have to be very, very careful in terms of their crisis management and then what they're doing on social media. So, In the discussion forum, what I'd like you to do is find an example where an organization experienced a PR issue on social media. That could be from something they put on social media or something they're getting flack for on social media that they did that wasn't related to social media. So, for example, if they raised prices and they're getting all this pushback on social media and it's creating issues. In the lecture, you'll see an example. Some of you may have seen the story about the Cracker Barrel and the husband of the employee they fired, and kind of some of the issues that is creating. So there's those kind of things you can look for as well. They don't necessarily have to be about actual social media content that an organization put out there that created a PR issue, although there will be plenty of examples of that. So looking forward to what you find there. Again, your initial post will be due Thursday and your 2 response posts will be due Sunday. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.